Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be for you. Welcome to another DayZ super detailed talk-through walkthrough. We're on Spaggies Chernarus Blue, completely vanilla server, again. And so far in this series, we have had a Kami Shovo spawn and a Zbletlo spawn. Because I know the map quite well, I realise I am now currently in between Solnichny and Nizhnoy. There's a little industrial area here, but if you spawn on the beach, spawn on the coast, you look across and you see this big industrial complex. It's actually quite a nice little change from the big cities of Chernigorsk, Elektro, Svetlo, Berezino. So same drill as before. I'm going to talk you through what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to do to at least give me a good start. So at least I've got the equipment needed, the bare essentials. That's amazing, straight off the rip. A hatchet. So we can at least try and go inland and go on a little bit of an adventure. Now while we found this hatchet, first of all, it's a great little melee weapon. What condition is it? Pristine as well, okay. Well, we've walked into a building where there's plenty of potential rags, particularly this collar dress. It'll give you 6 rags, straight off the rip. The pants that are next to it will give us 3 or 4, I believe. And we can make ourselves some improvised hand wraps. So that if we can get lucky and kill a chicken, or let's say, oh, we only got 2. Let's say we see a player that has succumbed to their injuries, maybe we can get some bones and some rope. And that would, of course, sustain us through fishing. Let's eat the apple that we've got. While we... Now, you've got 2 options here. If you spawn on the coast, you can go straight for the industrial sheds. There are a couple of shops, a couple of taco stands by the train station. But I like this little hamlet of houses at the top of the hill. So start working your way up the hill. There's a little electrical box there. You might find something useful. But you're pretty much out of the way. You'd be, even on a full server, official server, whatever server you play in, you'd probably be quite unlucky to bump into people up there. Unless they've got the same idea as me, because I like to go up there. If I find a chicken or 2 early doors, I like to cook it up there because it is out of the way. It's quite secluded. So we'll go up there. There's usually a few zombies. And obviously they could drop us some goodies. And there's a server restart in 45 minutes. So maybe we take this video up to the server restart. And just see what we can do in the first 45, 50 minutes when you get a, I would call it Solnichny industrial spawn. Now immediately, I'm looking around. There's a chill zombie. There's probably a few more around here. But we can't see any player activity immediately. And I'm going to loot this place thoroughly. Okay, so there's a burlap sack. If we can add a rope to that, we've got ourselves a backpack. Again, I'm scanning ahead. I've still only seen that one zombie. Or one infected. Beg your pardon. Alright, load of junk. Okay. Zombies clocked us, so let's get ready. Same tactic as before. Let them come on to us. When they're in range, hit them with the power attack, step in, hit them with the second, game over. Obviously, rope would be huge. It would go towards being able to fish, but we can cut up rags. Cut up 12 rags, combine 6 with 6. Ooh, shotgun. And you've got your own rope. If you combine a stack of 6 rags with another stack of 6, Bob's your uncle. I got a feeling someone has been through here though, so there's not a lot of zombies. There's usually at least 4 or 5. No dead ones though, so no obvious signs. Oh, there we go. There's another one chilling over there. Ah, right, okay. They've just spawned that side, look. 3 of them in the field. So I'm going to ignore the zombies in that field. I don't want to take a fight on where there's 3 of them. Sporter, not interested, but I am going to carry on collecting rags, because if we don't find rope, then we're going to want to make our own. So now we only need 3 more rags. Nice, huge, nice bit of food for us. Don't hoard your food. I see people picking up food and keeping it in their inventory. Let's say we'd got really lucky and we'd found a backpack. They're carrying around tons and tons and tons of food, even though they're starving or they're in the yellow. Just eat everything you find immediately. Unless, of course, you get the full stomach symbol. Oh, I can hear a chicken. And apologies if you hear me coughing or spluttering. We are still struggling with the colds and the flus in this house. Right. Instead of aggroing more zombies, stand our ground, wait for this one to come to us, deal with him. Done. I'm creeping because I'd seen those 3 or 4 zombies in the field earlier. So although I really, really, really want this chicken, I don't want to aggro 3 or 4 zombies in the field. And we've got to get this right. Missed it. Luckily, for some reason, the chicken stayed still. Don't know why. The hen. Now we have... We've been that. We have bones to be able to fish with. And this chicken has given us 4 chicken steaks. Nice little meal. Now you could cook it up here. Because it's 4 chicken steaks, it probably is worth doing. Oh, and look at this. Another hatchet. We'll just carry this one in our hands. I'm pretty sure you can get bark with a hatchet. But I want to clear this last house first. We haven't checked this last one. There's more rags and there's more food. Beautiful. Who says vanilla is hard, eh? And look at that, the perfect amount. Combine those 3 with those 3. Combine this stack of 6 with this 6. Now we've got rope. We've got bones we can make into improvised bone hooks. So now we can fish for our supper. Unlimited food, pretty much. And to keep us going, there's some dog food. Now the key to eating dog food, a bit like unknown food, dog or cat food, you only want to eat about 1/4 of the can. So watch that white wheel fill up. Maybe 1/3. Stop eating. Put the dog food away. Allow the arrows to do their thing. And then when they go down, again, when the arrows start going down above your food and water, you can start eating your dog food again. And look, our food is already up into the white. Now, you've got a couple of choices. Like I said, you've got the industrial this way. You can still see it through the trees. Solnichny is this way. Now, in Solnichny, you have a medical building, so we could pick up some meds. You also have civilian barracks where military clothing, boots, gloves, maybe even a pistol will spawn, can spawn. So for the purposes of this, we're going to go down to Solnichny. Also to show you a couple of landmarks so you know where you are if you're spawning in and you're new to DayZ. So going back to where we spawned, which was pretty much opposite the green mustache building, we can just see the roof of it there. Oh, got a bit close to him. So we'll deal with him. Step in. Finish him. Oh, and he's got the goods. He's got a knife for us. And he's got a soda. Which should put our hydration up into the white. And like I've said in other playthroughs, walkthroughs, talkthroughs, get those vitals up into the white gives you a chance of fending off colds and illnesses. Keep your immune system up. So see the gas station down there? Sometimes you can spawn just to the side of that gas station, just before the bridge. You'll see a bridge shortly. We just spawned a little bit up the road this way, opposite that mustache. But if you spawn closer to the gas station, you go over the bridge, you're in Solnichny. So I'm going to go to the gas station just because it gives you the view, if you like, of what you will see if you spawn in with the sea behind you on the coast. You look up the road to the left. If you're facing the other way, obviously. You'll look up the road to the left. You'll see the gas station. You'll look up the road to the right. You'll see the industrial buildings there. Just so you can get your bearings, we're going to go down to the main road. And then I'm going to show you Solnichny, because it is a pretty common spawn on most servers. A lot of the time you will spawn the other side of the village, the town. But as long as you can recognize I am in Solnichny, I'll give you a thorough walkthrough now before the server restart of how I like to loot up Solnichny. You don't have to go up there and do what I just did, but we got some nice things out of it, didn't we? You know, we got some food, we got some rope, we've got bones, we're ready to fish. We could probably go inland now. We've got a shotgun. Oh shit, there's a bullet in it, is there? I'm gonna just keep the one so that if we need... Oh, there is a shot in it, wow. Always check which colour you've got in your shotgun. It's a red, so we know it's a buckshot. We know we can hip fire it at someone, and we've got a good chance of hitting them, whereas with the green slugs, you've got to be a bit more accurate, a lot more accurate. So, alright, we can actually defend ourselves. I didn't realise that. But yeah, real common spawn, Solnichny. So, let's assume you spawned here, on the grass, opposite the gas station. You look to your left, you think, oh good, okay, we're right by a town. It's Solnichny. Let's get looting. If you do spawn up the road like we did, that little hamlet of houses at the top is just an option. It's just something I like doing. It's a personal preference. And we did okay out of it, to be honest. Shotgun with a shot, food, rope, enough rags for rope, a couple of hatchets. So I'm probably going to title this the Solnichny spawn, even though we haven't spawned right in the town. But we were only a little bit up the road from it. So there are a couple of fishing boats here, this side of town. Always loot them. You might get a soda. You might get really lucky and get a genuine fishing hook or a fishing rod. I know the in-game... There we go. Pristine fishing hook. I know the in-game server time is about 4 PM, so the sun is dropping. So if we want to take full advantage of the daytime, we need to get a bit of a shift on. And I don't tend to loot that industrial on the left-hand side. You could get gloves, you could get a couple of nice things, but I tend to not do that left-hand side area. I tend to go straight in, and I'm scanning ahead. Look, I'm on PC, I'm clicking in the mouse wheel, I'm looking ahead. Where's the path of least resistance? And am I going to get myself into trouble by sprinting into the town? Look, there's a zombie there, medical zombie. But it seems quite quiet on the whole. Alright, so let's get armed. Let's try and take out these zombies one by one without aggroing a load of them. There's another one over there. Search them. They can drop medical supplies. Now, if you still needed food, we're doing okay. We found the dog food. We got the chicken. If you still needed food, by all means, loot these houses. This one, this one, this one. For the purposes of the video, I'm going to sort of speed loot Solnichny. And I'll tell you that the first house I'm interested in is this one. And there's a dead zombie outside. Okay? So, real strong chance that there's someone here with us. We don't know if they're friendly or not. So I'm now on my guard. But the reason why I'm targeting this house... Fucking hell, someone's at a party here. Loads of dead zombies. The reason I'm targeting this house is it can spawn medical supplies. There you go. Bandage. I haven't got room for it. I'm gonna eat the rest of the dog food. NBC jacket. NBC gas mask. There's some gloves there. Not great, but we got a bandage out of it. Be aware as well, this car next to this building also spawns medical loot. You can see the hunting store there as well. So we haven't got any carry capacity, which is a shame. Charcoal tabs. But just be aware that car spawns medical loot. Then obviously you've got the medical building. Okay. Why am I zooming in there? Look, there's the well. So if someone was here, there's a good chance they'd be sipping at the well. Hello? Sometimes a good idea to announce yourself rather than walk into a building and startle someone. You're more likely to get attacked. If I were to run in here, immediately run into this closet, and if there's a guy here looting, he's going to be on the defensive immediately because we've scared the shit out of him, potentially. So use the in-game voice. That's nice. Got some alcohol. We can disinfect rags. Treat an infection. A wound infection. If we want to save some space, we can always drop them. But yeah, announce yourself. You never know. The other person might then be friendly. You might make a friend and go on an amazing adventure. They might just attack you anyway. This car here, and only this car, can also spawn medical loot. Also gloves, which is nice. There's the well. So if your water is low and you need a sip, do what you got to do. This zombie is aggroed onto us, so we got to deal with it. Oh, didn't time that one well. Got away with it. Let's hop over the fence. I think we're going to have to deal with this zombie as well. Here we go. Alright. Obviously, hunting loot can spawn in here. Clothing. Flags. You cut that up, you'll get 6 rags from that. And you can put this helmet on if you want. I mean, it looks ridiculous. It makes you look like an absolute goober. But if I were to get into a fist fight with a freshie, it would actually protect me from going unconscious. So, although we're all about the drip, and we may look like a bit of a window licker at the moment, think of the practical benefits, especially when you're a fresh spawn. Beggars can't be choosers. If it saves your life, then why not wear it, even if it's just a temporary measure? Now, as we move on in Solnichny, there's the pub. You can see a little taco stand there, which can spawn food. It all depends on what you need. Look, all our vitals are in the white. Our clothing is not great. The drip is not the best. God, another knife. I think it's in better condition. Oh, actually, we got room, so we'll take it. Always take the blades. You're going to need to dig up worms. You're going to need to cut your fish when you go fishing. But if you come through the centre of town, you've got some industrial to the left and right. You could get a sledgehammer. So, depends on what you're looking for, you know? We've got chicken on us. We've got bones and hooks on us and rope. So I'm not that fussed about looking for food. I want to show you where the civilian barracks are that can spawn military loot. A couple of train carriages. You can get some clothing in these. Gloves. Is that an old pea coat? It's a good pea coat. But all the while I'm keeping an ear out because we saw those dead zombies back at that house near the medical. So from these trains, if you hop the wall, use that building as your reference, there's the civilian barrack next to it. All the while I'm looking, can I see the person that killed those medical zombies back there? They could be watching me as we speak. We don't know their intentions. I mean, they don't know ours. Always have a look on the top of that roof. People have been known to camp up there. Because people can get hyper-focused with this civilian barrack. And want, you know, desperately trying to get in there. Oh, we might get some good loot. But I like to come down the... I like to come up the hill. Come down the back of the building. You can see through the windows. So if anybody was in there, you'd have a very good chance of spotting them. Before you've gone gun-ho straight through the front door. Right, this zombie we're going to have to deal with. Nothing spawns back here. That looks like it might be an entrance to an underground bunker. Or a mining shaft. You can't go in there. Oh. Love the game. It just doesn't acknowledge my swing at all. We got our first cut. Dear, dear, dear. 20 minutes in. Nothing you can do about that. A little bit of desync. So before it gets dark, let's check this shed. Motorcycle helmet. I wouldn't wear it. It's going to muffle your voice. It's going to irritate people if they try to speak to you. You'll probably get attacked on sight for wearing a motorcycle helmet. It's just one of those DayZ rules that we all love that are a bit bizarre. The boots are in poor condition. Officer's hat. But we have a bag. A utility backpack. With some rounds in it as well. BK rounds. Got some AK rounds. Oh. More AK rounds. I'm going to wear that hat. Because it looks a little bit less ridiculous than the ice hockey hat. So let me recap Solnichny for you. We came in from the gas station side. I showed you where the medical stuff spawns. In the medical building, obviously. In the house next to the medical building. And in the car next to the medical building. Both sides. One between the well and the medical. And one next to the house that spawns medical goods. Flashlight. Well, we've got a head torch. We might as well take it. Now we've got the carry capacity. I'll show you another good spot if you wanted to take an overlook of the town. Okay? Come through this quarry. Mill, whatever it is. Aim for this fence on the right-hand side, okay? And we're going to go up the hill pretty much as far as we can go. I'll show you a beautiful overwatch of Solnichny. Now sometimes you'll come up here and you'll find mushrooms that have spawned in because other players. There you go. Scripted. A lot of players, we can eat that. Dried mushroom, not rotten. A lot of players will come up here, especially if they've got a sniper rifle. And you'll see why in a minute. Here you go. Look at this. What a view. What a view of Solnichny. You could just make out the beige house there that I'm looking at, center of your screen. The medical is behind that. The well is behind that. There's our civilian barracks. Use this big sawmill as your point of reference. The civilian barracks that can spawn ammo, military clothing, etc. We found a backpack there. That's in front of the sawmill. You've got the industrial here. A lot of times you'll spawn this side of Solnichny. So you've got one log cabin residential building, then you're straight into industrial, where you can get gloves, boots. You're going to find a few zombies in between you and the loot though, so be very careful if you run into Solnichny this way. I'd either give it a wide berth, or I'd come straight around here. There's another mushroom down there. Why not come up onto this ledge and have a look? I mean, we can't see a lot, but you might see somebody running down the street. If you've got good eyes. But be careful of someone doing the same thing on the opposite hill or a little bit further up, you know. You don't want to take a bullet to the back of the head unnecessarily. But I will if I spawn this side of Solnichny. I'll tend to come up here, or even if I'm not coming up as high as this, I'll come around this side, creep my way around the mill, the quarry, and go straight for the civilian barracks. First building I would loot. I'll show you that route now because we're going to leave this way. I'm going to show you. And look at all this free food, dude. Dried mushrooms. They're going to give us hydration. Now this one is rotten. Some official servers you can eat rotten food now. I think on official servers you can eat rotten food. I play so many hardcore servers where that would make me violently sick. I tend to stay away from all rotten food if I can help it, but do your research. I'm pretty sure on some vanilla and official servers now rotten food is okay. See, I would come around here if I spawned over there. Keeping my eyes out. Can I see any movement? Loot this up. Then I would leave. I come up the hill a little bit. Again, I get a lovely overwatch of the train shack, the train station. If a freshie spawns in over there and is running through, I'm going to see them. Get a little bit of a view of the industrial through the trees. And then when you get to this side of the hill, you can actually see the medical quite well. Front door. The beige. You know, if someone's got a fire going in any of these surrounding buildings, you're probably going to see the smoke. But we're going to assume that you've had a lucky start like I just did, okay? I mean, I was quite thorough. I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for rags. I'm looking for to make into rope. I'm looking for a chicken to get some food. We found a bit of dog food. We found sardines. We found a gun with a shot in it. Now, up the road is Nizhnoy. Beyond Nizhnoy is Berezino. If you go this way along the coast, you get to Three Valleys. And then after Three Valleys, eventually you'll get to Kamishovo, where we spawned for the first video that I believe in this series, the super detailed talkthrough. So I'm going to show you something different. If you spawn Solnichny, you've searched the medical, you've searched the civilian barracks over there, you've got a bit lucky with food, and you're feeling brave, let's go inland. And this road that leads out of Solnichny will take you directly to Dolina. And before the server restart, and before it becomes too dark to see anything, we'll try and get to Dolina. So that'll be a nice little introduction to Solnichny spawns for you. You might die. You might die 3 times over in Solnichny. It can be a bit of a shit show place. But if you get lucky, quote unquote, like we just did, you know, we're still not exactly chadded up to the maximum. But for someone who's been alive for 25 minutes or so, we're doing okay. I'd like to sort my loot out, but I'm not going to do it in the middle of the street as it's about to turn dark. Remember what I said, I think, in that first video. Take advantage of the nighttime. Use that nighttime in-game where nobody can see you, unless they've got NVGs, and it's very unlikely on the coast. Use that nighttime to go fishing, or to sort out your inventory, or to patch up your clothes. Use the nighttime to your advantage, where you can feel a little bit safer sitting under a tree, just off the main road. When I come inland, I always like to check these sheds first. I found multiple IJs with ammo in these little sheds. There you go, there's some 9mm. And there's a hiking jacket, it's up to you. Best insulation, high insulation. I mean, sometimes it's an aesthetic choice. But be very careful on this main road. It can look really quiet, and then all of a sudden you can get overwhelmed by zombies pretty quickly. These trucks can sort loot, so I always jump up and have a look at them. There we go. Some good boots, which are good insulation. Again, it's a preference thing. Some people like to leave the sneakers on, the trainers, because they're quieter. They won't give you away if you're trying to creep up onto the zombies to do a stealth attack. But I like the insulation that the boots give you. And that's a huge find. A pristine lockpick. We can cook our chicken, we can cook our fish in a building, and we can now lock the door and feel a little bit more secure about ourselves. Now this is the bit where I've got into trouble before. I've barged around the corner, and I've run into maybe 3 or 4 zombies. There's one. So we're going to sneak. We're going to pick out the lay of the land. So there's 1, see? 2, 3 up the hill. Very, very quickly, that can turn into a bit of a nightmare. There's another one. Okay, so I tend to go into stealth mode, creep, crouch, and creep my way around the left. Have a look around this wall as well. See, there can be a couple of zombies that were lurking in the trees that have now made their way into the main road. But we'll leave them be. And once we feel we're far enough away, we'll just leave this whole situation. There's a little industrial building on the right. And then there's a very popular mustache building for cooking fish. Because if you've had a good start, like we have, and you've got bones, you've got actual genuine hooks, rope, you've got the ability to fish, and it's turning nighttime, I'm not going to do it now, but if I was playing this for real, and I'm sitting down for a good 4 or 5 or 6 hour DayZ session, I'm probably fishing here now, cooking up my chicken, catching a couple of fish, and seeing out the night time. And I'll show you why. We've got a lockpick as well, so we could lock the front door. Oh, look at this. Another blade. Pristine sickle. Let's clear the building first. Alright, looks clear. Let's also check if someone has had a fire here recently by just tabbing. No, there's no fireplace there. And always check the little toilet block behind. You can get ammo. Other good loot. Electrical repair kit, which can help you fix up scopes. So why not? And look at this. You've got a stream running next to the house. You could get yourself under one of these trees with your back to the tree. Fish in this stream. Nobody's going to see you. You're going to be very, very unlucky to be spotted. Catch yourself a couple of fish to go with the chicken you've already got and the mushrooms. And it's a dream start. But for the purposes of showing you where I like to go after Solnichny, and we've only got 15 minutes left before the restart, we're going to make it a slightly shorter video this week. Only because I'm struggling with my health, to be honest with you. My cough and my cold and my flu. God damn. Our whole house is really struggling with it in January, but hopefully it'll all be cleared up soon. Don't forget to drop a like. Subscribe if you like DayZ content. We stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We tend to do more hardcore servers, but we're going to carry on. We'll probably do one more DayZ super detailed guide after this one, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. Maybe we'll do a bit of Livonia. But drop a comment if you want something specific, you know? If you want me to do a video showing you how I fight zombies, or how I look for fishing materials, or if you want something specific covered, by all means, drop a comment below. So you've got Solnichny behind us. You run into a row of buildings now, and again you've got to look at your loot. You've got to look at your priorities. Do I need knives? No. Do I need better clothing? Well, probably. Look at that. 2 rifled slugs. I nearly missed them to go with our shotty. So we've got 3 shots in total now for our single loading shotgun. Do I need food? No. So if this is me, again, playing this, and I'm going to play for the next 3, 4, 5 hours, I'm probably completely skipping this row of buildings. I'm not even looting them. I'm keeping an eye, though, in case I can see a player. Smoke coming from a chimney. But time is against us in terms of the night time. And I would like to show you Dolina before the restart. And it's only just up the road. So I'm going to sprint. If you're hungry or you're dehydrated, you haven't got lucky finding food early doors like I have, don't sprint too much. Conserve your energy. But we're okay. I'm not worried about this character. I'm staying deep to the left so I don't aggro any zombies that are up behind the houses. But again, I'm still looking to see if I can see any movement, any player activity. I can put the gamma on for you guys. Obviously, I won't see it on my monitor, but it'll brighten things up slightly for you guys. Let's have a look what it looks like. If I press number 4 on my keypad, there's the gamma. Okay, so it's a little bit brighter for you guys. So I've given all the zombies a wide berth. Again, you can get in trouble by this field. 3 or 4 zombies congregating. And I'm sprinting straight past that row of houses. And we're on our way to Dolina. And as we approach this little bridge, there's a little wooden bridge up on the left. There can be a police crash convoy spawn where you can get shotguns, pioneers, Glocks, CZ pistols, all sorts of goodies. So keep an eye, keep scanning in, zooming in. It's not here today. If it was here, it would be directly opposite this little wooden bridge. So we're nearly in Dolina. You can see a few of the houses ahead. You can see the road sign ahead, just about. I break off to the right. This is the way I like to approach Dolina. We've got a police station in Dolina. We've got a hunting store and we've got a well. So they're the points of interest. And you can pretty much throw a blanket over them. They're all compressed quite closely one next to one another. So once you find the police station, and it's pretty hard to miss, you know the well is right behind it. And the hunting store is right behind that. And now you're moving more inland. People are probably going to be less likely to talk to you. They may. But be wary. It's best to assume the worst, and then if you get pleasantly surprised, more the better. But look how wide I'm taking it. I'm coming right up. Obviously, if I needed food, if I needed knives, I would be going along the main road, looting the houses, but I don't. So why would I bother wasting daylight? I'm coming up the right-hand side of the hill, quite high. And every now and again, I'm glancing down towards town. And the chances are, if someone was nipping in and out of houses, or they were getting themselves a fire with the nighttime looming, we would spot them. And there's a very strong chance they wouldn't spot us. Keep high up the hill. I mean, you'd be very unlucky if someone was even higher than you, and you got clipped. I mean, it could happen, but it is quite unlikely. Keep sprinting. Again, every now and then, I'm stopping to have a look down onto the town. Can I see any movement? No, it seems quite quiet. And once you get through these trees, you're approaching the PD, and you'll see it in a second. You probably wouldn't be sprinting like this. So like I said, conserve your calories. But with the nighttime against us, I want to get to the end of this road to at least show you a lovely little overview of Dolina that I like to take. I mean, it's even better if you've got a BK-18, a repeater, a CR rifle, something with range. See, I'm looking down at the town, still can't see any movement. Now when I look to my right, oh, look at that, there's a PD through the trees. So we're aiming for this tree line in front of us. There's the hunting store. See how close it is to the PD? Still can't see anything. It's quite misty. But there's one particular spot. I'll try and find it for you. You can get your own spot. You might find it by accident. I think I found mine by accident. But I jumped this fence. I crept down. Oops, I didn't want to be crawling. Crouch walk down. And I'm thinking to myself, can I get a view of the PD? Okay. Now, by no means is this completely camouflaged. We're not doing a Predator job here for the Arnold Schwarzenegger film. We're not completely camouflaged, but chances are if someone is down there getting a drink at the well, they're not going to be looking up here looking for us. But we're going to see them now. Oh, okay. Or we're going to see dead zombies, maybe, around the well. It's not the greatest Overwatch, but it's not bad. You can also come slightly to the left and see if you can see any movement in the police station, in the windows on the roof. Okay? Now, if you want to push further through, keep going, basically until you're about to leave this little wooded area. Keep glancing, keep listening. Get into crouch mode. Pick a bush, okay? Now, I'm picking this bush. Again, if someone looks up here, they're going to see me. Of course they are. But they'd have to look right in my direction. Now I can look a little bit up the road. See if anyone's got a fire going. Or they're looting. But the best view I've got is of the front of the PD. See, there's a chill police officer zombie there. I can't see any dead zombies. Police station looks locked down. But instead of me just waltzing into town like I own the place and walking into the PD and maybe getting shot in the face like we almost did in the last video in the hunting store in Zvetlo, slow your game down a bit. Start overwatching the town. Taking 2 or 3 minutes, particularly if you've got lucky with your early loot. It's easy to say, if you're starving to death, you need to get in there, you need to be looting. You need to hit the well if you're thirsting to death. But if you're all white statistics, like we have got all white stats, water, food, temperature, blood, health, then why not? I'm trying to teach myself to do it, because I have very rarely do this myself. I'm trying to slow my approach to looting towns down. So let's get some information first that puts us in the best possible position to make the right decisions, instead of just blasé running into town like we own the joint. But they're the main things you're going to want to hit in Dolina: the hunting store, the PD, and the well, which we saw behind it. And from there, if you follow this road up, eventually you'll see a dirt road that leads off to the left. You can get a military convoy spawn there, which is great, obviously, if you do. And then if you follow that road up, you will eventually arrive in Staroy military tents. And just down the hill from those military tents is the town of Staroy itself. But obviously, if you're new to DayZ, these are not going to mean anything to you. But hopefully from this today, you've picked up a bit. If you managed to get a Solnichny spawn, you've seen a nice couple of Overwatch areas of Solnichny. The points of interest, key points of interest in Solnichny that you want to be looting. And then what I like to do is come inland to Dolina. Plenty of houses to loot on the way. A lovely little stream to fish in if you need to. Particularly if it's turning dark like it is now in game. And then you're up to Dolina, where you can go into this police station. You can get yourself a stab vest, more shotgun stuff. Maybe we could upgrade to a pumpy. Maybe we get a scorpion with a mag, an M-lock. And then you're continuing your journey inland. But if you've enjoyed this, you've learned hopefully just a little bit, or you've treated it as a DayZ ASMR video, drop a like, drop a sub. Let's see if we can get some more eyes on the channel. Let's see if we can keep growing. We're still a little peasant channel, so help a brother out. Drop a like, drop a sub if you're not already subbed. Share it if you can. if you want to. And drop a comment below if you want to see anything specific, if you want to see a specific spawn, or you want to hear me talk about something specific in DayZ. Drop it in the comments below. But for now, this is Codfather, signing out on another super detailed DayZ walkthrough, talkthrough from a Solnichny spawn. Thank you very much, guys. Peace out. Bye-bye.